Public safety started. Can I first get a motion to allow Paul into the meeting via phone? Linda and Brian. Brandy, thank you. We should have it teed up here for voting online. Okay, looks like we've all voted, and welcome, Paul.
Thank you.
We probably will have a pretty quick meeting. We don't have any informational items today, so we will start with the approval of minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the January 28th minutes? Rob and Danny, thank you. And proceed with voting. Okay, the votes have gone through. The ayes have it. We will move on to our resolutions. Can I get a motion? The first one is our food service contract for the jail and the JDC. Sharon and Brandy, thank you.
Hello. This is kind of a fairly large RFP that we put out. It covers 3 of our services in the jail. One's food service, our kitchen. The other one is commissary, where detainees can order additional food and supplies. And then the third is our tablets, which they use to order food and supplies and other things. Our kitchen services have not been put out for bids since I think I've worked there at least 20 years. Same with commissary, and it's been at least 6 or 7 years for tablets when we first got them. So this was a much needed RFP. Ashley and my team, I think they worked almost 6 months on this, working with vendors, getting bids, all the information they needed. So we have come to the conclusion. One of the things we really wanted to do was make it like 3 for 1. Instead of working with 3 different vendors, 3 different contracts, finding a company that does all 3 of them because they kind of all intertwine with each other. So there were several companies that do that. We decided to go with Trinity. Their recommendations from other correctional facilities were very high. Their pricing is very good. One thing that I was kind of shocked at, right now our budget is $780,000 for food services and supplies. This comes in just $8,000 more than that. And right now we're using all inmate labor force besides usually 1 to 2 civilians in the kitchen. This is going to be an all civilian workforce where we don't have to use any inmate labor. So This is going to be much safer, better quality, and it's really not going to cost us much more. So, any questions initially on this? This does impact JDC a little bit. That's why Brian and Ryan are here. Their price per meal goes up a little bit because they use our kitchen services.
So for JDC questions, we can have them come up when you're done. Any questions for the sheriff, though? Linda?
Apparently not too many egg dishes.
Sheriff, I believe I know the answer, but can you confirm there weren't any local or in-state bidders on this?
The current provider that we use, they did not bid on that. There was apparently an error in there. Long story short, we sent an email saying we were putting it out for bid. They said they didn't get it because it went to a different email. This provider also was not set up in BidNet to even look at the bids for correctional. They did not even bid on it, unfortunately. But once again, we wanted to make sure that these were competitive bids coming in too. So
Definitely. Okay. Any other questions related to the food service for the sheriff? Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Would you like to tell us how this is going to impact the JDC?
Yes, and so as you are aware, we have partnered with the sheriff through an intergovernmental agreement.
Excuse me, I can't hear what he's saying.
Sorry. So as you're aware, we have partnered with the sheriff for quite some time for them to provide our meals. We are currently paying $265. This would be going up to $325, and there's a big difference between juvenile calorie requirements. They do have a nutritionist that approves those meals, and there's also a snack involved for the juvenile detention standards that the jail does not have. So that's a 23% increase, but we anticipated that was going out for bid, so we have budgeted accordingly. So we won't need any budget amendments to cover any additional costing.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on the food service contract? Yes, Steve.
Just for clarification, is the food service preparation being done at the jail for both facilities? It's not being done external somewhere and bringing it in, right?
Correct. It's done at the jail, and we go over and pick it up and bring it back.
Okay, thank you.
Linda?
Can you explain, so there's, part of this bid is for snacks for the JDC, correct?
Yes.
But then I always see a lot of notations in expenditures for additional snacks. So maybe you could kind of explain to me.
The old way we did it is we had to supplement, and so we had to give additional greens due to the nutritional values that our nutritionist required for us to have. So that's why we had some of those extra expenses. So we got the food from the sheriff, and then we supplemented it to meet those needs.
Okay, so that will not continue then?
Correct.
Because this will have the correct nutritional value?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. Also, everyone should have gotten a piece of paper passed out by the sheriff. The rest of the notes on that impact will be updated into our tablets at a later time. That was just a portion of the resolution analysis that didn't get in there.
When you guys look at that, you'll see that one of the bidders on there is a little bit cheaper price per meal. But when looking at this, they use the current tablets that we are using, and we have some really significant problems with these tablets. So we want to move away from that company. And then also Trinity's referrals were much better than that one company that you see is slightly cheaper than the one that we're choosing. So that's the reason why we're not picking the lowest bidder, is those other factors.
there's no other questions, I think the only other question that I had that I needed clarity on was whether for the caloric difference between the jail and the JDC, whether that was a savings, and it looked like maybe in the long run it was a financial savings by the time you counted in, kind of going back to Linda's question, the additional food purchases. Okay. Okay, any other questions on this contract? All right, thank you both.
Thank you.
We'll go ahead and vote then. Thank you. All right, all in favor, we have ayes, no nays. Thank you, guys. We will move on to our AOIC allocation to the public defender. Can I get a motion? Danny and Brandy, thank you.
Sorry. We are asking for the funds that the PD office received from the AOIC last September to be allocated from the 2024 revenue line to our PD 2025 budget. We received $113,000 from the AOIC, but didn't use any of those funds in 2024, and we have until the end of June of 25 to spend it. So we're just asking that those funds kind of be rolled over.
Thank you. Can you tell us the history of those funds?
This is the second year that we have received this money from the AOIC. It's been the same. There was a few dollar difference. The first year it was $113,229.93. Last year it was $113,114.75. So it's funds that are allocated to each county in the state, except for Cook County, based on a formula that weighs each county's poverty level and a percentage of 2021 criminal fund filings. So they're supposed to be, the funds are supposed to be sent on public defender offices and services.
Okay. Any questions on this? Yes, Danny.
I apologize if I did not hear this, but you apply for those funds, is that accurate?
We actually don't even have to apply for them. It's not a grant. It's just money that the state gives every public defender office in this every county's public defender office in the state except for Cook County.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you much.
Okay.
All right. We will go ahead and vote. Looks like all have voted, and we have all ayes, so it's unanimous. We will actually jump back on the agenda since there were no informational items to be presented. I skipped over Scott's report on our quarterly plan. Sorry, Scott.
No worries, Madam Chair. Just to note that the quarterly strategic plan update is in your packet. I'm happy to answer any questions about the detail. It's in that report. I think everybody that was here for County Health heard what I said about March 22nd, so I will not repeat myself on that. So I'll just stand with happy to answer any questions.
Assume there aren't any questions. Everybody's probably heard that already. We'll move on to discussion. Any discussion? Public comment? And miscellaneous? All right, we're adjourned.